Today, we're going to look at an ancient text, the Mahakaruna Sutra, but maybe in a way you haven't thought of before. Forget scripture for a second and think of it as, well, software for your mind. We're going to frame this whole thing as a user's guide to installing a brand new operating system for your life, a major upgrade from suffering to liberation. So let's just dive right in with a pretty big question. I want you to think about your daily reactions, your go-to thoughts, your deepest held beliefs. Are you actually consciously choosing them? Or are you maybe running on a kind of default program, one you never even realized was installed in the first place? All right, let's pop the hood and diagnose our default mental software. What the sutra suggests is that our standard human OS comes pre-installed with a fundamental misunderstanding. It's like a core bug in the code that inevitably leads to suffering, to anxiety, to that feeling that something's just off. And here it is. This is the central glitch in our default programming. It's this deep-seated belief that some force outside of ourselves, call it a creator, a god, fate, whatever, is writing the code for our lives. And what does that belief do? It makes us feel powerless, right? Like we're just characters in someone else's story, totally subject to their whims and designs. So how do we fix a bug this deep? Well, the Mahakaruna Sutra doesn't just offer a simple patch or a quick fix. Nope. It performs a complete system wipe. It goes straight for that core assumption and challenges it head-on to get to the absolute root of the problem. The sutra is really direct about this. It poses this pivotal question to, of all beings, one of the highest gods in the Indian pantheon, Brahma, who actually believes he is the creator of the universe. And the answer just completely flips our entire understanding of reality on its head. And this is the radical reboot the sutra offers. It's a massive shift in power, taking it away from some imaginary external creator and putting it right back where it belongs, with you. It reveals that it's not some god pulling the strings, it's our own karma, our thoughts, our words, our actions that are programming our reality, moment by moment. Okay, so if an external creator isn't running the show, what is? The sutra pulls back the curtain to reveal the universe's real source code, the law of cause and effect. Karma. This is the operating system of our everyday reality, what we can call the samsara OS. And this is absolutely crucial. Your experience right now, in this very moment, isn't random. It's not predestined by something else. It is the direct, logical result of your own past actions. You are the programmer. And look, this isn't just some vague concept. The sutra maps it out as a precise feedback loop. It starts with ignorance, a misunderstanding of reality, which triggers an action. That action then leaves an imprint on our consciousness, which leads to clinging or desire. This solidifies a new state of being, and boom, we're trapped in this repeating cycle of suffering. But here's the really good news. We don't have to keep running this buggy software forever. The sutra provides the solution. It's time to install a powerful new upgrade, an awakening operating system. And what's so brilliant here is that the sutra recognizes that we all have different kinds of bugs. For a devotee type, like Ananda, whose bug is emotional attachment to a person, the patch is understanding impermanence. For a thinker, like Brahma, attached to a big idea, the patch is understanding causality. And for the helper type, the fix is to upgrade simple pity to a much more powerful compassion that's rooted in wisdom. So what's the core of this whole upgrade? It's an internal shift. It's all about moving from depending on an external teacher, even someone as amazing as the Buddha, to relying on the truth, the Dharma, that you discover for yourself, within yourself. See, the Buddha isn't there to save you, he's there to show you how to save yourself. Now, to really drive this point home, the sutra presents this stunning comparison of what's truly valuable. It starts with an act of immense devotion, making offerings to an infinite number of Buddhas. I mean, that sounds pretty amazing, right? Hard to top that. But then the sutra says, hold on. Even that incredible act is worth less than simply being in the presence of a Buddha and truly seeing what that enlightened state actually represents. And here's the ultimate mic drop. Even seeing a Buddha in the flesh is worth less than a single fleeting moment of genuine insight into the Dharma, into the way things really are. That one moment of understanding is more powerful than any external act of worship you could ever perform. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Let's get practical. Let's open up the user manual. How do you install and run this Awakening OS in your own life, right here, right now? And what's just incredible about this is that the installation process doesn't require years of silent retreat or complicated rituals. The sutra says the installation file is tiny. The whole process can be kicked off with just one single sincere thought. I mean, just look at these first steps. A single moment of real compassion for someone who's hurting. A tiny flicker of faith that you too can awaken. Even just saying the words Namo Buddhaya with real intention. The sutra says any one of these simple acts plants a seed of awakening in your mind that can never, ever be destroyed. So, once the new OS is installed, how do you keep it running smoothly? Well, there's one core instruction that the Buddha repeats over and over again. Be vigilant. Don't be lax. And what that really means is just pay attention. Apply consistent, gentle effort. And don't let your mind just drift back into those old, buggy patterns of the samsara OS. And this all leads to the ultimate transfer of power in the sutra, the Buddha's final, empowering instruction. He isn't asking you to rely on him. He's telling you that you are the source. The power, the truth, the path, the refuge, it's all right there, inside you. You already have everything you need. So, we'll end with this question for you to take with you. If your mind truly is a programmable operating system, and you've just been handed the user manual for a major upgrade, what are you going to choose to install today? A moment of compassion? A flicker of faith? As the sutra makes perfectly clear, the choice is entirely yours.